Sup, dude? Today I would like to start a new series on the second channel here. This is kind of a rambly one-person podcast. These episodes shouldn't be too terribly long, but I just have a lot of random stuff that I want to get my thoughts out on. Now, I make big long videos about games, and it takes a while. As you know, if you subscribe to the Protagonist channel, uploads are not very frequent, and I have a second channel, which you're watching right now, if you're watching this, that is, called Protagonist 2. And this channel has been in use for a while now. I can check, I don't really know. But it's almost at 600 subscribers, surprisingly. And the reason for that is because I made a little video about a Japanese drama series called Beach Boys. Now, I love this drama series. Absolutely huge fan of it. I found it randomly on like a pirate website. Me and my friends watched it together. It's from 1997. It's just like, honestly, such a solid show. It's got great performances. The actors are like, they're kinetic. They have such great chemistry. The writing is surprisingly good. The show tackles some pretty hard-hitting themes that you really wouldn't expect it to. So the whole thing revolves around two major characters. One portrayed by Takeshi Sorimachi. He's basically the main guy. His name is Sakurai. And he's kind of down and out. He got dumped by this girl, and he's just not having it, He is basically homeless at this point. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to take this fucking shit-ass car, this dumpy-ass car, I guess he owns, and I'm just going to drive to the ocean. Because he was just like, I don't know, he's just down in his luck. But he's like a free spirit, I would call him. And he has a run-in with the other main character, Kaito, portrayed by Yutaka Takanouchi. Very big actor. I think he's done a lot of advertisements recently that I saw when I was in Japan. Was he in Shin Godzilla? Wait a minute. He was in Shin Ultraman. He was in holy shit. He was in Shin Kamen Rider. I just watched Shin Kamen Rider. I might make a video about that too. I didn't know that. That was a very good movie. Yeah, but he's more straight-laced. He's a businessman. He works in Tokyo. He don't have time for this silliness. But they kind of end up at this bed and breakfast, right on the shore, and they end up just sharing like a very powerful connection. And they meet this girl named Haru. Let me see who she is played by. I'm doing this right off rip. Ryoko Hirose. Hirosue. Ryoko Hirosue. It has such a great tone to it. The beach vibes. Everything is just so great. They play the mighty boss tones at some point in there. It's usually very fun, but it can delve into more serious topics. Haru is only here because she's helping out her grandpa, and she wants to live at this bed and breakfast and stay at the beach. But there's some push and pull there, like her parents want her to come back home and stuff like that. The two main characters, they go through a lot of stuff, and then there's a lot of episodes that cover minor characters and go into pretty deep topics. Like there's one about this woman who was divorced. I really kind of forgot her main relation to the plot, but I feel like she was a fairly major character. But she was divorced, and she didn't have custody of her son, and she got to spend the day with him. And it was just like, it was a really emotional episode in exploring their relationship, and then them separating at the end was like, it was very emotional. There's a dog barking. Yeah, so I don't know, I'm forgetting what I said, but I was so inspired by this series, and I love the opening theme, also performed by not Takeshi Takeuchi. That is the Fate artist, right? Takeshi Sorimachi. He performed the opening. He's a very talented and very famous singer as well. So I made it my mission to learn that song, and I sung it at karaoke numerous times while I was living in Japan. One at an open bar with everyone surrounding me. That was a very fun moment. Yeah, so I ended up making a little video based on this series, and it ended up blowing up in the Japanese and Korean YouTube spaces, because that's all the comments. All the comments are in Japanese and Korean, and oh my god. This is probably the most wholesome comment section I've ever seen. They're all just like, "Oh, I missed this show. Oh, this show was so nostalgic. Oh, I want to go back to those times." Like, oh, like the vibes of the time. It was just the late 90s on the beach. I was born in the early 2000s, so I was not there in any respect. But it's so it's palpable, the idea of late 90s and like tropical areas, I guess, because like there's so much music and so much media that just is that. It's such a specific subgenre, subculture, even like I think of an anime called Eureka 7, where it was very much that kind of counterculture, surfer culture, skateboarding culture, kind of in that, but it was like a mech show, and it was about war, and it had like a very very serious relationship aspect as well. I think a lot of people remember Eureka 7, but I'm not super sure on that. But yeah, this video about Beach Boys ended up getting 400,000 views over that, and it's still climbing, and it has 2.2k likes, and this channel just shot up, and it has way more subscribers than the main channel, which hey, if you like video games, if you like JRPGs, discussions, analysis, please subscribe to that channel and also this channel. But remember, please subscribe to the main channel. That is my main focus of what I want to do on YouTube. But this is just a fun thing that I'd like to do, and I'd really like to give this channel more content, because it's been growing, so why don't I try to make it grow more? I guess that was a bit of the lore behind this channel, the state it's in, and a little bit of a review and recommendation of Beach Boys, because I really do think it is worth your time, especially if you want to get into J-dramas, if you want to watch, if you want to hold on to summer while the summer is ending, and you've probably gone back to your non-summer life at this point, but it's got the vibes, it's got the sauce, you know. It's just an extremely, it's just one of those shows that really makes an impact on you, and I think that can be seen throughout YouTube. If you look it up, there's tons of videos about the soundtrack, and tons of videos that you can see of people visiting the specific beach. I believe they actually have the set that was the bed and breakfast in the show as a cafe that you can go, and has tons of memorabilia from the show, and you can order a little like omelet rice or something. Yeah, but I don't know, it was just so cool finding this random thing and just seeing the love that other people have for it. And really, I think that is something that is very important to me specifically, because that is how I found everything that I care about in media. It's always been something that I stumble upon on my own, usually, or I heard about it, or I see it, and then I take it, an initiative to get into it, to give it a chance, and then I find this thing that I connect to, and then I enjoy, and then I feel it just feels great to find out that there are more people who also share those feelings, and especially something as like obscure as Beach Boys, because I mean this aired in 1997, only in Japan, and there's no international success. I mean, someone translated it. I mean, someone did a English subtitle track on this thing. I couldn't tell you who. I'd love to meet them and have a conversation with them. That would be insane. Yeah. I think I've kind of exhausted everything I have to say on here. So, in conclusion, go watch Beach Boys. Go subscribe to this channel. Also, go subscribe to Protagonist on YouTube, my main channel, and check out some of my JRPG analysis videos. Could do other shoutouts or whatever else, but really there's not much thought going into this. When I hit record on this was going to be a completely different video, so that just goes to show how much effort and thought is going into this series. But I'm sure that that'll make it slightly more fun and slightly more unpredictable than my main series. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I've been Protagonist 2. Peace.